So, anything interesting happened today? What do you say we talk about it? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Ramblin Man discussion video here on YouTube. My name is William. I am the Ramblin Man. Now, I kept the intro short and sweet because this is a discussion on the current state of pro wrestling. And if none of you have seen the news by now, if you follow pro wrestling, if you're a fan of pro wrestling, then this is sure to be some surprising news. Earlier today, it was revealed that, from what I saw, Cody put out a statement. Cody Rhodes put out a statement. Then Brandy Rhodes put out a statement. And then Tony Khan put out a statement. Now, Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes' statement never once said the words they were leaving. They just thanked a lot of people, and they just never once said, hey, we're leaving. So keep that in mind as I progress here. The only thing that hinted at that Brandy and Cody Rhodes were leaving AEW was Tony Khan's statement, where he thanked them and wished them well in whatever they decided to do. Future endeavor. Now, a lot of people are speculating that Cody's going back to WWE. A lot of people are speculating a lot of things, actually, but for me, for someone who's been a fan of AEW for quite some time and who's been a wrestling fan for even longer, here are my thoughts. When I first saw the statement, my gut reaction was, really? Cody Rhodes helped build this thing. I can't remember if it was Tony that came to Cody or Cody that went to Tony, but this thing, this All Elite Wrestling, that is Cody's baby. This was all his idea. Now, if you know wrestling history, you know Cody's dad, Dusty. He was instrumental in, the formation of WCW. And he was instrumental in some of WWE's creative processes in the late 90s, early 2000s, I believe. The time frame, I believe. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But I don't think for one second that Cody Rhodes would have ventured on this with Tony Khan, because he comes from a family who's been in the wrestling business for decades. I don't think for one second that he would have entered into this new venture of business with Tony Khan without being smart about it. Now, the question is, the contract that expired, is his contract really expired, or did he really have a contract? Or is this all, storyline and a work? Now, for those of you that are, modern day fans or fans that just watch occasionally and don't know some of the lingo, there's two terms you need to know: a work and shoot. You'll hear, old-time wrestling fans and old-school wrestlers talk about work or shoot. You'll hear Paul Heyman say, work or shoot, work or shoot. So a work means that when you hear someone say it's a work, it usually means that it's part of the story, that it's part of the gimmick, it's part of what they want you as the fan to take in and run with, and this is what they want. This is part of the game, essentially. Shoot is when it's off the cuff, when it's not what was supposed to happen, when it's off script, off book, that sort of thing. So, with that being said, is this a work or a shoot? I think, honestly, there's not enough information for me to make that determination. What I was saying, Cody would have never entered into this without, if he's part, he would have been part owner of AEW, because All Elite is his baby. There's no All Elite without Cody Rhodes, period. I mean, Tony Khan could have tried to create his own wrestling thing, but it would have never been All Elite. All Elite was his thing. All Elite started out of the fire of what Cody and Kenny and the Bucks and all of those guys started 4 or 5 years ago. It started on a bet that Cody seemingly made with Dave Meltzer. I mean, not like a legit bet, but Dave Meltzer said, something like Ring of Honor couldn't sell out, a 10,000 person arena. And essentially Cody Rhodes said, hold my beer, watch this. So that's where AEW was born from. Tony Khan was always the money. I don't believe for 1 second he's behind creative. I think that Cody has been the one behind the scenes driving everything. And with that said, is this a work or a shoot? I believe it's a work. I could be wrong, but I believe this is a work. Simply because, A, Brandy and Cody's messages to the fans never outright said, we are done with AEW, we're leaving AEW. It just hinted. It never actually said it in black and white. That's number one. Number two, Cody painted himself creatively into a corner on two fronts. One, he painted himself into a corner by that match with Jericho for the AEW World Title, and the repercussions of that match and MJF turning on him. While it all set up MJF as this monster heel and the run he's been on, God, he's been on a hell of a run. I love MJF, but I'm getting off track here. Cody, he painted himself into a corner creatively by never being able to wrestle for the AEW World Title again. At least if he's going to be in ring. Now, this is all assuming he's going to still be in ring wrestler. So if this is a work to get him back into that picture, that's great. He also painted himself into a corner with this whole heel thing, turning heel. Cody is one hell of a heel. If you've seen his work at Ring of Honor, if you've seen his work outside of AEW and WWE, he's one hell of a monster heel. Just YouTube search Cody Ring of Honor heel. There's one particular promo where he's got this ring from Ring of Honor, where I think he turned the world title into a ring, basically. And I think essentially that's where the whole MJF ring thing came from. But anyway, I digress from that. I think creatively this is going to work on two fronts if it is a work. To basically turn him heel, to give him a legit reason to go heel, to make the story seem more real. And it'll also get him out of that painted corner of not being able to wrestle for the world title. Okay? Now, that being said, this is all based on all these thoughts and opinions of mine are based on if he's going to continue in ring. And it seems to me that that's the only legitimate direction that it could go based on all this, because why would Brandy leave as well? Or why would Brandy do this as well? So I don't know. Now, the other side of this coin is maybe it is a shoot. The only way it could be a shoot is if Cody's done in ring and he's going to go completely behind the scenes at AEW and be nothing but creative. He's going to be in the back. He's going to be in the office all day, essentially. If that's the case, then great. I think Cody working from behind the scenes and being creative and not having to worry about going in ring and just focusing on the younger talent and the other talent they can develop, I think that's a fantastic choice. But I still lean towards the fact that it will work. But if it is a shoot, that's the only way it's a shoot. Now, is there any way in hell he goes back to WWE if this is a shoot? Fuck no. The WWE and Vince McMahon have screwed over the Rhodes family for decades. If you've seen any interviews he's done outside of WWE, outside of contract, and he's talked about and the whole shit with his WWE not wanting, trying to make it where he couldn't own his own name, the Rhodes name. If he goes back to WWE after that, Cody is done in the wrestling business, period. There's not one wrestling fan that will respect him after that, simply because of that whole legal fiasco with the Rhodes name. At least in my opinion. There's not one reason why you could legitimately say, okay, I can see why Cody went back. No, I'm sorry. Even if it is to, even if he does sign with WWE and he goes in there and he's essentially he now owns the WWE or whatever, that the board of directors decided that Cody's going to be in charge of WWE. Even that would be too far of a stretch for a lot of us fans. So, and I think and Cody's smart. I don't think he'll do that. I think he knows if he goes back to WWE after everything that's transpired between the Rhodes family and WWE, and him having a fucking hell of a position with AEW and creating that, I think he knows he'd be done. But, you know, then again, but I don't know. That's my take. That's my thoughts on the matter as a longtime pro wrestling fan. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, I know it was a talking head video and I didn't have any, anything to look at or whatever, but I just wanted to get my thoughts out there, and I wanted to make this video because it's relevant at the moment. And, I was thinking about it outside, and I just wanted to make this video, get some thoughts out there, and see what everybody else. Anyway, if you like this video, hit the like button and leave a comment down below. If you dislike it, don't just hit the dislike button. No, you can hit the dislike button, but let me know why you dislike the comment section. We'll have a conversation. Please share with others that you might think would enjoy this content. Help me. My goal right now is to get 100 subscribers. Any help towards that end will be greatly appreciated. If you want a more personal experience, I do stream on Twitch every Tuesday and Saturday after 4 p.m. Eastern. Over there, we do RPG gaming, story gaming, world building, lore chasing, character building, stories, gaming. Anyway, if you want a more personal experience like that, you can chat with me one-on-one and in real time. Check me out over on Twitch. The link is in the description box down below, as well as my other social medias, where you can check me out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. All right, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, my name is William. I am the Ramblin' Man. This has been another Ramblin' Man discussion. Have a good one, and peace.